Shrimp on the barbie.
What color is that?
Blue.
Is it supposed to be purple or is it supposed to be blue?
Well, I don't really care. So I was trying. You can see it, huh? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the purple shampoo that I use, and it's supposed to make your blonde like more blonde, but I leave it in there for extended periods of time. And I like turning my hair a little bit blue.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. I would like to dye my hair blue, and I even try to get my girl to figure out how we could dye it blue during quarantine. She was like, "Homie, I can't get you the stuff that you need." Like really bright blue. Like, I'm going to dye my whole hair.
What does it take to do that?
I didn't ask. I was like, "Will this work?" And I sent her something. She was like, no. Like, don't come back to me with troll hair. Because when I was younger, I used to, whenever I lived far away from here, because she's always done my hair. So whenever I lived far away from here, I would dye my own hair. And then whenever I go back to her, sometimes I'd have like 20 different colors in my hair. And she's like, "What are you doing to your hair? You're killing me." I'm like, So I'm trying to be better. So I'm going to wait. But one day I'm going to have blue hair.
How long do you think that will be from now? I'm going to get my water because I think I threw it in the trash.
Why would you do that? I want to have, well, if I could, I'd have blue hair right now. But that's not going to happen. We'll see. I would probably have blue hair. I think that I'll have blue hair by midsummer. And it's like a turquoise color, not like dark blue.
Okay.
It's like a bright turquoise or teal. Teal.
What's up, Tyler? All
Hey,
right.
Tyler. Oh, I'm supposed to be on here. Hold on just a minute. I got really excited about talking about blue hair. I forgot what I was doing.
I haven't seen my hair looks weird.
No, it doesn't.
It's time for it to get done.
Why?
I'm ready.
Where are we?
It's not going to be for weeks, though.
Let me refresh.
3 months of this? Man.
Why are you saying 3 months? Get your crap together. You don't know that yet.
You're right. She said you washed your hair. She noticed.
Yes, I washed my hair. It's basically, you could say this is the first time I've done my hair since the quarantine.
Tyler, we're doing pretty good, man. I'm glad to see you on here, bud.
Yeah,
I miss you.
Good to see you, bud.
I miss you in the morning, for sure.
I don't miss the mornings.
I don't either, which is weird to say.
Nice. That means you're sleeping a little later.
I know. I think I'm getting more sleep and I'm feeling better. Right there. You're.
Oh, I was just there.
Yep. There you go.
We're
right there.
we're live right here.
Yeah. That works perfect too.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into it. Freestyle Friday. You ready to hit that beat? Next time. In quarantine. I don't know what
Rapping.
One day.
Oh man.
One day. I'm gonna prepare some rhymes. Okay?
I like it.
And be prepared to be underwhelmed. Because they're not gonna be good. But it'll be the try that's worth it. So even if you turn into it for that.
I feel like Tyler feels like he's really off the wagon.
Yeah,
right
he
now.
says I hate to say it, but
I got you right. I'm on my He said to say it, but I need the 5 class to get back in my life, so he can get back on track.
Yeah, man. I agree with you. I mean, I miss that, but I do like sleeping a little later. Something's changing in me. Something is a-changing in me. All right, guys, we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, but really kind of what our focus today is talking about, I guess, kids, right? Because school is not in session. and it's basically over for the year. They don't.
It
I don't
is.
think they've made it. Have they made official announcements on this?
Yeah.
Every school?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's done. I mean, I think they said school can resume right as of right now. The governor said May 5th, and most schools get out that following week or the week after. So I think most schools are pretty much closed for the remainder of the year.
Yeah. So I mean, I've seen. I think I saw Jessica Ortiz show me or send a message about prom tickets being refunded. So like all this stuff is happening.
It's so sad.
Yep. So those things are gone, so to speak. But I think we're going to focus on trying to. We need to just accept it, but accept it in a good way, and just create a new routine and create a new thing. What am I trying to say? A new
Schedule?
yes. Thank you. A new schedule.
Do you need this coffee?
Maybe a new schedule, and rethink about things and try to get things as normal as possible. And just talking to many parents out there, some of their kids are getting too much work, too much schoolwork. Like they want to they want to keep the kids busy for the whole day, but parents are still need to work, right? During this time, many parents don't have the ability to stay home for. Well, I guess a lot of people are home, but some are still going out to work every day. So kids are being asked to manage this stuff by themselves. Well, if you're bored and you're eating all day, that's all you're going to do, and play video games and etc. So we want to talk about trying to get back some type of balance, because things are going to go back to normal. Things are going to start. Sports are going to open back up. Kids are going to be playing, and all those stuff is going to happen. And we need to find a way to bridge the gap between this time and the unknown time, which could be, I guess, at minimum another month, but it could be July, before some stuff is back to normal, before sports and kids go back. And
I think that's also think about the coordination that's going to have to take place for sports to even continue. When is the next sports season? Are they going to? I don't know. It'll be in the middle of season of spring league whenever we're free.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that picks up, and I'm sure that everybody's going to have different protocols there, but let's say that they decide to pick up in the middle of spring league, then that means it's gym phone. That means that they're picking up, going from sitting on the couch and sitting at their makeshift school desk to now full-blown sports, which is problematic.
Extremely problematic. If you think about it, we're used to them being active or having some type of coach or something during the day. Whether you're in elementary school, they got PE, they got recess, they have something that's guaranteed activity. If they're middle school, high school, they have their coaches that are taking them through either off season for the sport that they want to play next year, or they're in season and they're doing activity for that sport now. Well, that's gone, right? And I'm seeing some coaches programs and things, they're giving their kids work to do, and but without the accountability of someone teaching and coaching them and telling them when to do it, it's very unlikely that many kids are going to follow that throughout these next few months.
Yeah, I think that self-motivation, even for us, even for the adults, it's hard, right? We've all been stripped of our routine. It's not just, you think, oh, my poor kid, they're not getting to finish their school year, that this is really hard. Yeah, everyone is stripped of their routine. Everything is different, and it happened really fast. So, I don't expect my kid to have the accountability to work out on his own. He's sitting there saying, I want to be a professional athlete one day. I'm like, bro, you got to work out, homie. It ain't just going to happen. Do you know how much hard work that is? It doesn't just happen. You have to work for it. So whenever you don't want to get up and work out, I'm going to say, hey, you need to spend this hour and go work out. What do I got to do to get you motivated? because it matters. Those daily little things matter. Plus, if you have boys or girls that are, what do you call it, like preteen, dude, you want them working out. Like, they won't be as mean to you and give you as much attitude if they work out. They're just better. They're just better. It's just like you. You know, it's very similar. So I don't know why we baby our kids so much. Little babies. Because they're our babies.
So now so even if they do have a routine, I've talked to many parents on this because we're doing a lot of remote personal training, like virtual call personal training and stuff with these kids. And so I get a lot of parents that are like, oh, now that school is out, okay, like they're used to the schedule and they still want their kids to have activity. They're like, 8 o'clock is too early in the morning. I'm like, 8 o'clock is too early in the morning. The kids get up at 6:30 to get ready for school, you know, and now all of a sudden 10 a.m. I'm getting 10 a.m., 10:30, 11 is too early. I'm like, that has got to stop. It's crazy because when things get back to normal, and I would expect a ton of injuries, a ton, because they haven't been doing anything overly strenuous for several months. They've been eating everything in sight. They're going to bed late, waking up late every day. Probably not drinking any water at all.
Isn't.
Water doesn't exist. If you're not doing if you're not doing really a lot of exercise, you don't feel like you need water. So you're just kind of sitting there. Mm-hmm. It is going to be a rude awakening. And what's going to happen is they're going to be expected to go back into the fort full speed right then and there with no kind of prep at all. And there's going to be a bunch of injuries.
Yeah, I think that also goes, it kind of depends on like the coach too. You know, like it could be just your kids could play in like a rec league, or it could be mom and dad coach, or whatever the situation. Or, you know, some coaches even in the middle schools and high schools, maybe they have knowledge in their sport, but they don't necessarily have knowledge in the exercise background. So they just think, oh, well, we'll just throw our kids under these barbells and da-da-da-da, like no warm up, whatever. And man, I hope that that there's some knowledge being shared, and I guess from a parent perspective, I would want to know, like, oh, that could be, if I didn't know anything about it, I would want to know, like, okay, that could be potentially dangerous to my child. So I would want to know that. But keeping them moving and keeping them active, and just being aware, I guess, of what it is. As of right now, we obviously don't know what it looks like when they go back to sports, and because sports are probably going to happen before school happens, because let's just say they're out for the rest of the year, then they've got the summer, and we're in this lull for a longer period of time. They're in this downtime for even longer. So it would be better if they were going back to school and going back to PE and the things that they normally do.
Yeah, I kind of think about, like, okay, football always happens, you know, September, right? Like late August, September, it happens. What is he saying?
He said he likes both of our hair, Sergio.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
There's all kinds of people in here. Thanks. So Emily, what's up? Jesse, Sarah, Amy, Serge, Matthew. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining.
So they're going to go, football is always in the fall. You know, they start mid-August. They have 2 days, and then they go into
this Texas heat.
Yep, and then they go right into practices, first game in September, or, you know, late August or whatever. And then they go right into the sports for the rest of the year, right? Mm-hmm. Volleyball, which was in the select season, which is regionals, and then eventually nationals would be getting closer to this time right now. So probably regionals would be very close to this time, which is now off the table. I don't even know how they're handling that stuff.
Wow.
You have summer track. I think track, depending on, like, I've seen some college track that is still happening, but I don't see, like, high school track by any means is happening. So all these sports are being pushed back. I don't know if they just not, some of them are saying they're still going to try to host the state meets and those kind of things. I just think it sounds crazy.
Yeah, that does not sound like a good idea. I mean, really, like, unless there's some sort of accountability that those kids are being put through where they are getting programming done for them or as a team or something like that. Because if they are just sitting around on electronics like this for like 6 months, and then they're going to go play whatever sport, ew, seems like bad news bears.
Yes, very much so.
And the same goes for all of you.
Yes.
Keep moving.
Yes, you must do it.
You must do it now.
So what does it look like now to get like kids back doing some type of activity while things are down? Like, what do we talk about? What are good things for them to probably be incorporating right now while there's so much downtime and, they don't have any particular organized stuff going?
Yeah, everybody's schedules are different. So if you can, I guess, ensure that your kids are getting an hour of physical activity a day, that could be riding their bike, riding their scooter, going for a long, fast walk, giving them some yard work chores, or even having them do workouts, putting them through workouts. They can ride their bike. They can do things that are fun. It's really weird because normally you'd be like, hey, go play with your friends. And that would be what I would say is like, hey, go play basketball outside. You can go play. But it's hard because there's nobody to play with.
So you are now their basketball friend.
Oh, I suck at basketball. It's really bad.
So you can do that, right? Those are all options. For us, what we've decided to do is we offer a PE class Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And it's about 45 minutes. It's a good little butt kicker. And kids can go at their own pace. There's games. It's very interactive. And we've just been we've had people in Kansas taking these classes. We have people in different states. This is it's very, very fun to kind of see how this can bring people together in such a different way. But it's another option that you have a coach there looking at their form, making critiques. They're getting a good sweat in. They're done after that. I mean, I've had the parents tell me, like, my kid hasn't moved off the couch since this morning, or, man, they're so much more mellow now that we got some exercise in them or something. We also have had some, unique opportunities to do a lot of virtual training with kids that are in specific sports where they prop up their phone, they have a certain amount of equipment at home, and we custom design their workouts based upon the equipment that they have available, and it allows for them to continue seeing increases and, keep them going, keep something that's normal in their life, We've had some pretty good success with that.
I think it also is nice as a parent to be able to hand off the accountability to someone else. For me personally, if my child is like, I don't want any of that, I don't want to work out today, I don't need to, I'm like, you're on the Zoom call, here, go. Like, once it's out of my hands and I don't have to hear I'm like, here, put him in the room, close the door. And then he's just doing the workout. Like, I don't have to be the bad guy, but for just a minute. Like, hey, put your shoes on, you're doing this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not training him, so it makes it a lot easier. And I'm still ensuring that he's getting some physical activity because, I mean, good night. He's been on that electronics a lot.
Some of the clients that we've been able to work with, one of them particularly, he's a track athlete, and he's more on the distance side of things. But he's been doing his workouts every day. The coach prescribed workouts that he has at the high school, and then we've been supplementing his workouts that he does at the high school with 2 additional workouts a week that we do virtual. It takes about 45 minutes for us to do that. And he gave me a report yesterday while we were working out. He's like, hey, man, I think this is really working because I usually run mile times which seem astronomical. I do that in cars or on bicycles, but averaging 5-minute and 30-second mile times. And now he's averaging 5-minute and 15-second mile times. And we've been doing this for, gosh, I guess since quarantine started, so 3 weeks ago. And we've been able to see such a great increase in what he's doing. And we're not spending that much time. We're just saying 2 days a week. So I think there's ample opportunity for your kids right now to get even better during this time than what was thought possible. And I think that goes for, and even though we're talking about kids, adults, you can get on this too. If you need that accountability, there are people, there are several of us coaches standing by really to help anybody that has any need, that wants some personalized attention. We've switched over everything to a virtual kind of model at this point. And so we hold classes several times a day, and it's been quite a ride.
It has been. But I think that the accountability, speaking of accountability, it's one thing to pop open your app and do your workout on your own, and that may just be what works for your schedule. But hopping on a live class every so often is very beneficial for many reasons. Number one, it feels like you're in class, and it gives some sort of normalcy to this weird feeling situation. You get coached, you get the accountability, you get people talking back to you, and it's not this thing that you're doing alone, because, man, being alone kind of sucks. I miss our classes. I kind of feel like right before we opened, and I was like so excited to have our first class, like I woke up and was here at 5 a.m. just to be here for that first class, because I was so excited. And I feel like that's going to be the same way. You may see my face again at 5 a.m. We'll see.
You're coaching.
See. I'm not coaching. No. I'll be like, good job, guys. You guys are doing great. Chelsea said, yeah, the live class makes her go harder for sure. She would take more breaks if she were working out alone, for sure. I think that keeping you on track, keeping you on pace, making sure that you're doing, the workouts that we are programming in the class style, it runs very similar to how a class runs here. We keep you on track so you're not sitting down and resting. Like if you are sitting down on the live class, then we can say, hey, so-and-so, let's stand up and take our rest that way. You have someone coaching you through those little hard moments, and your kids can get the same thing. Your kids need the same thing, and you don't have to be the bad guy and be the one that's doing that. What's up, Dave? So all in all, the message is very similar for the adults and the kids. It's about how we are transitioning ourselves in this time, and what we're doing to make ourselves stay accountable and stay moving and stay active, so that when we come back to the gym, we're not flopping as well, or either, we're staying with it.
Yeah, I would say anything that we're pushing towards making things normal as possible is going to be a good thing for both your own sanity, especially if you've been doing this for 3 or 4 weeks and the kids are asking you, can I have another snack after eating something 10 minutes ago?
I'm that kid. I don't even ask, though. I'm the worst kid.
All those little things that are happening, and, you've been in such close quarters for such a long time. These little things will help create a nice or more normal environment so that we can keep things steady, keep things moving. I know a lot of people are spending a lot of time outside, and that seems to be helping. But just adding some of these little small things will be, I think, a great help in any of your routines. I know that me being outside has to happen. Having things to do is essential, not much downtime, which is what I'm used to anyway. But that helps to keep my sanity as I'm kind of going through this stuff with you guys in different ways.
Amy said snacks. Yeah, snacks. A lot of you guys that are on here have said that the virtual classes push you. It helps you stay more accountable. So another incentive that we have if you're a member here and you're doing those virtual classes is we're doing extra giveaways. If you come to 3 or more virtual live classes, I'm sorry, let me say live instead of virtual. If you come to 3 or more live classes per week, you get entered into a drawing to win a little gift at the end of the week. Last week, Natalie won. She won a little phone stand to help her with her setup. So it's a different thing every week, but we'll continue to do that while we are in this scenario to help encourage you guys. Another encouragement to come to those live classes, because if you haven't tried one yet, it is the way to go.
We also offer a free adult class tomorrow, actually tomorrow morning. So bring a friend. We'll provide a link in this video closer towards the end of that, so that if you have anybody, please feel free to share that with them. I think it'll be a great experience for them. The workout is kind of specially designed, so someone who maybe hasn't been as physically active will be able to kind of jump in there and not feel super nervous about jumping in that. I think it'll be very, very fun for them. We have a PE class in about an hour, so if you know any kids that need to get some exercise in, we'll put that link in there as well. If you guys have stuff that you want us to cover in the next coming weeks, we would love for you to comment in the bottom of the video, or just comment somewhere in there. That way we can go and review that and cover those topics going forward. It is Good Friday today, so we hope you enjoy the day, and then of course Sunday, so we want you to have a peaceful and wonderful weekend.
Yes, have a happy Easter.
All right, and I guess as of today, we will see you next Friday.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, that's you.
Yeah, that's me.
It's 9 a.m., right? Yes. Yes.
Did somebody say yes?
I just did.
Okay.